Hey team, welcome back to our simple little island. We're still taking things slow in Animal Crossing. No stress, no clutter. Just us having a chat, slowly building our island up over time. It's a lazy Sunday morning today. I've already done a few of our dailies, but I thought we could just have a dawdle around, see if there was anything else we need to do. Oh, I also got the notification today saying that Turkey Day is coming, so we've got something to look forward to now, but we're going to need some veggies and things. Or at least from what I remember, we need veggies. I know we'll have to fish and get sea creatures and stuff, but from what I recall, there was one or two included now, so we might have to work on a farming area to go next to Nook's Cranny. Oh, hello Olivia, how are you today? I have spoken to them all already, but let's do another round. See what they've got to say. Don't underestimate the importance of a polite greeting. Oh, she's saying I need to reconsider my intro to the video. A cheery hello from a friend. Oh, look at Pecan. Oh, maybe they're not getting along so well, you know. Are we turning into one of the drama islands where there's beef with our villagers? Probably not, although Olivia is now ignoring us. Well, let's move on then. Let's go talk to Pecan, see if she's feeling any better. Oh yeah, see, I'm getting in trouble for having talked to them so much, but I just want to. Oh, she's gotten into pottery. Okay. Well, this is a bit of inspiration then for decorating her garden, if we ever get round to it. Clayworms and snakes. Oh, I love them so much. Two snooties on an island, though. That's risky for sure. We're just asking for mean girls, really, aren't we? Oh, let's... hang on. I don't need this one, but, you know, it's nice to just have an odd little catch or a fish here and there when you can. That makes me wonder, actually, do we need to catch anything for the Nook Mars? I've been awful at keeping track of these, half doing them. Okay, now we need to fish in bits and pieces, but we'll just remember to do that along the way. I don't think I have anything new to show you today. I was just checking for sturgeons there, of course. But yeah, so let me tell you about Daisy May and the great disappointment that I had this morning. I was all ready to spend something ridiculous like 300,000 bells on turnips, and she wants 109 bells per turnip, which is crazy, right? That's not just my imagination. That's the most amount anyone has ever asked for them. So yeah, we're not doing turnips this week. But what we are doing is, today was the third visit from Anchovy. So I think from, is it tomorrow or the day after, he will officially be moving on to our island. I'm sad to say he is replacing Bob. But you know, Bob will come back again at some other point. I'm really excited to have Anchovy though. His big dumb eyebrows. Yeah, and then I'm going to start thinking about if there's anyone else we want to get on. I'm still thinking Sprocket, you know. I think he absolutely has to join us. Right, okie dokie. Since we have the Nook Miles task for fishing, should we just do a quick check of the higher up rivers and ponds and things? I was still looking out for some of the fish to catch this season. I know we can get the valuable ones up here as well, so we'll just have a quick check. And then if we don't see any, we can always just pop down to the ocean, do a spot of fishing down there. Oh, that's good. Chevre was having a think this morning up here. I was worried I was going to have to face her again. I obviously just ignored her because if it is the moving out thought bubble, I'll just wait until it moves on to someone else. But to be honest, we don't really need to. I think we've got a pretty good mix at the moment, and we can call in a few others if we need them. Right, let's catch this guy. Place bets now. I'm going black bass. What's it going to be? Little Bones is over there. Oh no, it was too small for a bass as well, wasn't it? Okay. Oh, I feel like our tools are just constantly breaking now. I just don't want to step up to the fancier ones, you know. We've still got many, many more of them to break until we get our Nook Miles stamp for breaking them or crafting them. I can't remember which one. Either or, same thing. Anyway, you may have spotted there that I'm now having to run across the island because I do not have my workbench in my pocket. I was playing around on the cliff tops here and I imagine I have probably left it there, which was a bit silly of me. I always have to have one in my pocket. Maybe as we're building, we'll dot around a few spots and then we can clear up the space over there. Oh yeah, I need to show you this as well, but let's get the fishing rod out the way first. So yes, don't judge. Don't judge my custom design skills. I've never done this before, but I thought I would have a go at making a silly little path. So at the moment, it's very basic. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it look like it's curving, which is surprisingly tough. Let me show you. So yeah, getting the angles right and all these things is really hard. So at the moment we've just got the shapes and then I figure later I can add some more texture to it and stuff. And then my thoughts are this is just be a little path that winds through the forest up here and leads to a few different little cabins. So I'm moving Gonzo forward onto that spot and then we'll have another one here and somehow the path will wind through. I was thinking that spot where the workbench was would be something there. I don't know, wild log benches or maybe a workbench or something. So I'm just going to leave this here to remind me that I want something there. It's not really a decoration as such, it's just a little reminder for when we eventually get there. I actually don't mind that path so much, you know. I don't know how much more complicated it needs to be. But yeah, it was cool to try it. What's this one? Oh, oh, it's so tense. It's so tense before they bite. Okay, nothing impressive again. Pop them away. I like the look of the backwards standee, by the way. I know it's a little bit crazy. Not quite as intended, but amongst these trees up here as well, I think it kind of works, you know. Bigger. I'm excited to see how all of this will develop. I'm just going to go finish off our fishing in the sea. This will be easy, if not very rewarding in terms of bells. I was so upset this morning with the 109 bells per turnip. That's crazy. I nearly went over onto my other half's island to buy them over there, but it's been so long since he's played it that his Switch had no battery and it was taking so long to charge that I gave up. I figured we'll work on a farming area instead and that will get us a bit of money. We're just going to have to be a bit slower unlocking things on Halves Island and stuff like that. No millions of bridges for us as of yet. Oh. Oh. So yeah, we'll take it slow with the money, it's fine. Oh, we're getting points. Oh yeah, that'll be our 5 then. Right, that's a job done. We're smashing through it today. Anything else that we can do fairly easily? Planting this fruit tree, for sure. I never do this one properly. I know we're supposed to maybe take it as inspiration to plant a new fruit tree somewhere on the island, but instead, I'm just going to dig up this one, plant a new one, and then dig that one up too. This area, you guys, oh, it's gotten so messy and so out of control. And it's setting off all kinds of bells and alarms in my head that are telling me to clear it up a little bit. So I think, yeah, absolutely, we should start working on this today. Even if we just clear it up, you know. We don't have to do a full design, but we can just start figuring out how we're going to lay things around there. Obviously, Daisy May is going to walk around in it all day just to upset us while we're trying to work on it. Let's clear all of this away then. Let's see what we can get rid of and just have a look at the area as it is. I know a few of you, as well as I, had been wondering about how far we wanted to go with the farms, and I was going to keep it just as a tiny area to use for cooking, but now I see that Daisy may not be a reliable source of income for us. So we should maybe, be working on this farm area. We can do quite a big area, and then if we decide we don't need it, we'll just change it. All right, let's clear up our pockets a little before we start digging everything up. Do I want to get rid of these trees? Probably not. We'll just plant them somewhere else for now. Make a mess somewhere else. So we have to clear that up next. This is how we'll persuade ourselves to decorate the whole island. So let's clear it all away. I need to figure out a place for the flowers as well. I think probably that big bit in the middle of the island, you know what I mean. Or I have laid them out in some kind of specific breeding pattern that I found just on a picture online. It's probably not the most efficient way of doing it. In fact, for sure it's not going to be. But I need to try and keep them in the positions that I've put them in. So we'll have a think. These mums I definitely want to keep because I need to have all of the mum colours. You know we do. Mums are maybe top 2 flowers of the game. What's your favourite flowers? Do you have a particular one that you always have on your islands? I feel like it's always mums and hyacinths for me. But I would like to mess around maybe with some others, see what we can do. So I'm thinking we'll just head up here next to the museum. This was going to be our kind of Isabella Plantation, Kew Gardens inspired spot, wasn't it? So even if we're just dumping the flowers here for now, it'll remind us to come back to it later. Oh, and in fact now that reminds me, I wanted to thank some of you who have been commenting about how you've been enjoying my travel stories. So maybe in fact I could give you a little bit of context on that today, rather than just describing to you me putting flowers in the ground, which in fact I'm messing up. I have to kind of plan where they're going, bear with me. This is going to be a very systematic putting down of flowers. But gosh, I don't even know where to start with my tales of travel now, thinking about it. It all feels like a very long time ago in many ways, but also not. From what I recall, so I hadn't really travelled much before my early 20s, maybe that kind of time, for sure. And I had a partner and we ended up going to Amsterdam for a weekend away, and suddenly I got the taste for travel. Well, no, I think I'd always wanted to. Truth be told, I'd been watching a particular film way too much. A film called Into the Wild, which is an incredible film. If you've not seen it, I think you probably have to be a certain age to see it, so just make sure that you're watching it appropriately. But it very much gives you a taste for travel if you ignore the ending, which I won't spoil. And then all of this combined with the fact that I was working a retail job. I was working in a photo lab at the time, which I really loved, but also in many ways really hated. I think just the general grind of life, isn't it? You wake up, you go to work, you go home, and, you know, if you work in retail, you probably don't have a lot of money to spare, so you can't really take annual holidays like families do as they get older, maybe. I don't know. We'd not really gone on a lot of family holidays when I was younger. We weren't too well off, you know. We used to go to a caravan park, actually, where you could see dolphins in South Africa, but this was many, many, many years before all of this business, and I'm living in the UK. And then one day, I think, I must have just gotten very stressed out or something, and I ended up Don't do this, don't do the same thing. But I ended up quitting my job and buying an open-ended ticket to Thailand. Open-ended meaning, obviously, I bought the flight out there and I could get my return ticket at any time I liked. I probably didn't need to explain that bit, but just in case you didn't understand. So yeah, I packed up all my stuff and I got on a plane and went to Thailand. I think I ended up staying for about maybe 2 or 3 months in total. I've been to Thailand a few times since, but it's a great place to fly out to explore that whole side of the world. You can jump between places there quite easily. People usually do a route of Thailand and Vietnam and Cambodia. And it's a well-travelled bit of the world. It's been a kind of tourist route for a very, very long time, so it can be very easy to move around there, and very cheap, which is obviously why I managed to stay out there so long. I have no idea how I afforded this actually, but I can give you more tips on how to afford travel, which I figured out later once I'd gotten the taste for it, but honestly, no idea how I afforded all of that then. But anyway, I'd pre-booked a whole bunch of youth hostels to stay in, and they're so cheap out there, it's crazy. I remember it being something like 4 or 5 English pounds to stay in a place, which is just, absolutely crazy cheap. And the first place that I stopped in, I'd planned it very carefully. I'd looked at everything online and found places that looked nice. And I remember this horrible long flight, and I'm not good with flying at all. And I arrived very, very early in the morning. And I arrived at the hostel, and obviously they were still cleaning beds and stuff, and they didn't have space for me yet. And she said, just go have a walk around town or something and come back later. And I didn't. I just sat on a sofa in the reception area, probably for about 8 hours, just waiting for them to be ready to give me a bed to sleep in. Bless him, they were very nice. It was actually a Welsh girl working the reception, and I'm still friends with her on Facebook now. That's how old I am. I still use Facebook. Actually, do you know what Facebook is? It's one of the traveller things, I think, is I have to have a lot of different social media things, because everyone uses something different, and you meet a lot of people over time, and then you kind of are stuck with them because there's no other way to speak to these people. So many years. You don't get people's phone numbers or email addresses, you just add them on social media. But yeah, I'd obviously chosen, I think, the first hostel to stay in very well. And I luckily met a lot of really lovely people that I had a lot in common with in that same place. Everyone was off doing their own thing, and you'd meet up again in different countries along the route when your routes are crossed again. Many years later, actually, I went back to the same hostel and stayed there on another trip out to Thailand, mostly because behind this hostel was this huge mishmash of streets that all have really amazing street food. Some of the best I've ever seen in Bangkok. It was all it was all like kind of for the locals, really. It wasn't really a tourist area. We just happened to have the hostel there. And it was mostly, I think, people about their daily lives. They'd stop off there and grab off their dinner, and us tourists took advantage of it. Oh gosh, I remember one day going out and pointing at something, because I have no idea what any of the food in these big pots and stuff is. And I pointed at something, and even the woman who was selling it was like, "Oh, are you sure?" And I thought, yes, I am. I'll be brave and try it. And I tell you what, the texture of whatever it was that I ate, it was not right. I took one bite and was like, nope. I'm done, thank you very much. Let's go back and get something else. Hang on, I can hear a mole cricket. I know I said, oh yeah, hang on, wait, we've got to get it. Wait. Oh, okay. I know we said we would never catch one again, but I thought this could be a good thing to take to Blathers, actually, to get him to tell us some facts. But yeah, bad food. That was a bad street food experience. And to be fair, only one of two bad street food experiences that I've had in all of my travel times. Let's pop in and get some info from Blathers while I think about delicious street food. Generally, I find it was the safest way to eat. It was only whenever I ate in resorts, actually, that I got any kind of illness when I was out there. Right, let's see what you can tell us about a mole cricket. There is a touristy thing out there, actually, of eating insects. And you could eat, I think, probably it's like scorpions or something like that. I never did it. It was a very touristy thing. But apparently, actually very good for you and could solve world hunger. So we've learnt that mole crickets can walk on water. That's what we've learnt. But yeah, so these, apparently, if the whole world ate insects and like crickets and things, they're supposed to be really high in protein and I imagine probably easier to breed than things like chicken and stuff like that, the stuff we consume hideous amounts of. I just, can't imagine myself fancying cricket for dinner. I don't know. Although this is now bringing back a distant memory of being in South Africa. And I don't know if your country has this as well. Flying Ant Day, where it's just suddenly there were hundreds of flying ants everywhere. And I have vague memories of people eating them. I don't know, I might have imagined that. But it's so nice to see our villagers strolling around now, isn't it? I can't wait to get some staircases in and they can move around freely, Right, so we've cleared our flowers. Now I think we're probably going to have to move a few of the trees. Otherwise they're going to be influencing what I want to do here. So let's get a completely clean canvas to work with. But anyway, yeah, I spent a bit of time hopping around Thailand, looking at temples and things. The islands, obviously, are incredible out there. You haven't seen beaches. Well, a lot of you probably live next to very beautiful beaches. A lot of you are Australian as well. You get the fancy surf beaches. But the Thai ones, gosh, on the islands, they're something else entirely. So incredibly overrun by tourists, though. Oh. But they ended up with a bit of pollution problems, obviously. And then supposedly, over the course of COVID, with all the tourists going away, a lot of them actually improved in places where wildlife had disappeared. They started to see things like sharks again, which is wonderful and terrifying. I think I want to have a shark attack in Thailand. That's too close to the movie The Beach for my liking. Which is another thing that encourages people to go to Thailand. Oh, I thought it would have been a pierfish, but it wasn't. It's just an old sea bass. Speaking of islands, I've forgotten to do Captain's Island today, so we can chat over and we'll get some supplies, shall we? I might entirely decimate the island. I've still only got my chunky axe, so we'll probably take the whole lot to get some resources. I'm pretty sure I need more hardwood. Here we go. It's like being on one of the little boats going between the islands in Thailand. Luckily, the only wildlife encounter that I had out there, other than a gecko in a toilet once, which shall never be mentioned again. It was a horrible experience. But there were a few of the islands that have monkeys on them. And if you have any kind of food on you, this monkey is going to get onto you and get that food. So don't have food on you strolling around these islands. Oh. Do you know, I've really been enjoying actually sitting through Capin's song out here. Let's give him the full experience. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go. It's jets off into the horizon. I think, from what I recall, on that particular trip, is this a good island? Is there veggies for us? No, no. But yeah, I ended up on that trip spending rather a lot of time in Cambodia, actually, which is a very, very cool place. Like the Wild West out there. I think I said it before. And then obviously, if you've ever seen the film Tomb Raider, the Angelina Jolie one, then a lot of it was filmed out there, the temples in Angkor Wat, which is just still to this day, I think, one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. The temples out there, just beautiful, and covers such a huge area. You really get the impression. I'm just checking out which of the ironwood things we've got. We should probably work on our kitchen with them. But yeah, this area of temples in Cambodia is so widespread, and you really get a feel for this whole world that was out there. Really. And you go into them and there's monks out there just, meditating, doing their things within these ancient temples. Although I suspect, again, that was probably there for, I don't know if it was there for the tourists or if they went on some kind of trip out there to experience it themselves as well. I don't know. But very cool. I remember going to a sunrise at Angkor Wat, and you would pre-book the trip and you would get driven out there on your little, what's the name for them? The tuk-tuks, the little car bike things. And we woke up crazy early in the morning and all piled into this little thing, and you go in and it's like a national park and you have to pay a ticket to arrive. And then if you know anything about travel, you'll see pictures of a sunrise at Angkor Wat and there's no one in it, and then you turn around and there's several thousand people who've also arrived for the same thing and are all there taking their photos. But it's still a special place. It's an incredible experience to see. I want to get all of these weeds because we need to start decorating with the weeds, actually. I'm aware they're probably going to affect our star rating, but we can put them in and take them out and figure out the right level. You know how I go about this by now. Gosh, I do miss Angkor Wat. I would go again within a second. Give me the option and I'll head back on out there. On that occasion, I don't think I actually went to Vietnam, which is a bit of a shame because now it's one of my absolute favourite places in the world. Gosh, the food, oh my goodness. I will say I'm not a big fan of Thai food. Their street food got a bit greasy and spicy for my liking, but I'm talking particularly about street food as well. I'm sure the locals make some very good, very healthy food for themselves, but I didn't get that. But everything in Vietnam, though, yum, absolutely yum. Oh no, I forgot I'd eaten a fruit. I didn't mean to smash that rock. Oh, it's okay. It's not one of ours. But anyway, so yeah, that was my first experience into solo travel. And I luckily met lots of lovely people and ate good food and just had a generally good time around. I do remember actually having to come back, and I didn't want to face the 13 or so hour flight to come back, and I spent so long looking at whether you could get a train, just get a series of boats and trains back, which would have been terrible. There was a whole like a Trans-Siberian rail trip that I was looking at, which would have cost so much money just to save me from having to get on a plane, which I eventually did. I remember I was probably green at the end of it, but I made it back in one piece. And then from there, really, it was all about me figuring out ways that I could afford to do things like that again. And then started working seasonally and in exotic places, and then using that money to go off and stay somewhere else for 4 months. And this cycle continued for many years until, the world had a pandemic and things went a bit crazy. And I met my other half and we got together and settled down. And then life got somewhat more normal again, but I have an absolute treasure trove of memories and things from along the way. That's probably the most normal of my travel stories, actually. The introduction to it. I started doing slightly weirder things. I'll save for another day, maybe. Oh, I have just remembered, actually, speaking about the islands in Thailand. I remember seeing one day on a walk on the beach a washed up pufferfish, which if you're a Sims player, you will know all about the pufferfish nigiri specifically. And they're incredibly poisonous and they have to be prepared by an expert, otherwise you could do away with yourselves by them. You can use it in The Sims to get rid of unwanted husbands, should we say. But yeah, one of them was just washed up on the beach and I saw it and I was like, wow, it was all, puffed up, doing its thing, and then came by probably about half an hour later and it had gone. So hopefully one of the monkeys didn't get hold of it thinking about it, but I imagine the local probably came and took it away and kept the beach looking pristine. They seem to work very hard out there, actually, at keeping them beautiful. I know there is a lot of rubbish. That was a very strange thing, was going out there shortly after COVID and seeing the beaches being a bit neglected. But, in reality, it gives you an idea of what tourism does to places like that. So in a way, it's good to see. Bad for the environment, obviously. Almost everything we do as humans is bad for the environment, but let's not think about that now while I decimate this island of its natural resources, taking everything I need for myself and then moving on. How topical. I have been wondering, actually, how much we're going to need for the 3.0 update and all this hotel business. I still don't quite understand why we have to make items for the hotel. I watched the trailer again. I saw a slightly different variation of it, which was peculiar. They seem to be just a tiny bit more descriptive about what we're supposed to be doing there. And it said to, draw tourism to the island. So I guess we have to craft the items in order to get to get villagers to show up and want to come. It'd be cool if there was a kind of tier system to the villagers that showed up, wouldn't it? But yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. As long as we keep the island playable, which is our plan, so we'll be able to chop trees when we need them and hit rocks and stuff like that. Part of me is very tempted to try and do a proper rock garden, like we did before. I think you'd have to do the trick, wouldn't you, with a transparent custom design and try and force the rocks into place, because we've got a lot of open space on our island, so I don't think that would happen very naturally. It's more likely that I'll just keep bashing them until they spawn up on the cliffs somewhere, and then we'll have winding paths around them. I was looking at those cliffs earlier on, obviously, trying to figure out how we're going to navigate them. Part of me wants to do this island with no terraforming, which is crazy. I don't know if that would happen or not. Let's head on back. I also briefly considered the idea, since we're sticking with this island, and it's kind of going in a direction of trying to keep it natural and foresty, not like foresty, but somewhere we can enjoy the seasons and walk through the trees as opposed to like a city or something like that. Let's skip cabin for now. And I did think, since I have a second Switch, I thought about, because I always also wanted a very simple, almost Normcore type town where we could use all the different pathings and stuff, which I feel this is kind of steering away from now. And I was thinking, could we go about making the simplest possible island? So we'd have like 2 layers of terraforming. We'd have all our houses together in a big chunk, and just how simple can we go with a town? So this isn't quite as simple as it could be, I suppose, but I like the direction it's going in. It's giving me Forever Island vibes, you know. But I thought there's definitely a chance to do something that's more like, you know, Animal Crossing's version of a little town. And we could have like some form of a, you know, Normcore sort of stuff, that, but as basic as we could possibly go. So no library builds or, you know, karaoke bits that people usually put in, just to have it kind of have that look and that style. So obviously resident services, and then like a fountain in front of it and a sitting area. Look at that leaf just floating around. How nice. So there's the possibility we could do something like that too. I know obviously one island takes up an incredible amount of time, and I don't want to distract from that, but let's have a little mow of the lawn, shall we? But I thought about it. Let me know what you think. Maybe we should just stay focused on this so we can properly develop it, you know. But I was intrigued by the idea of just what's the most simple that we could make an island. I'm just gonna drop all of this stuff here, and then I fancy a cup of coffee, some lunch. So what I might do is, obviously no time will pass for you and I'll just magically reappear, but it'll give me some time to psych myself up for nudging stuff around on camera. Like I say, it's not going to be a build. It's not like we could turn this into a speed build section, but you're going to see what it's like when I start to nudge things around. Right. On that note, I'll see you in a minute, I guess. What am I doing? Pressing all the wrong buttons. Okay. Right. Back in a mo. As if by magic, I have returned. Daisy May is still here with her ridiculous turnip prices. I feel like I should have bought some, but I'm drawing a line. 109 bells. We can't support capitalism like that, you know. Oh, I've pressed the wrong thing. I meant to go onto the terraforming tools, but instead you get to see the 2 most basic rooms ever built in the DLC. I quite enjoy actually just taking the very basic items they want and making them fit in a room. Right, let's get the island designer up and we can have a think about this space. This is probably going to be a bit strange for you because a lot of it is just me imagining things in my brain, like here. But to you it looks like I'm just running backwards and forwards. Okay, so I think there's still a little bit of clear up work to do. I think we should probably have an edge around it where we can have things like shrubs and weeds and trees and things. So if I dig these here, then I can kind of see the distance we need to be able to plant a tree there. Okay. So we would then have one gap between the tree. And then I was thinking like a 3x3 square to put the veggies on. Does that add up? Can we fit in another square at the front there? If we nudge this over one, would we be able to do that? It would be a bit of a tight squeeze, I think, next to Nooks, and we could keep a little gap there where we could put a workbench and eventually the storage boxes and things like that. And then probably we'll stick with the 2 wide path to keep things simple. It could, in fact, go all the way up here into a staircase that could lead up onto the top there. Right, let's get these trees out the way because they're already influencing my thoughts. Oh, I always end up with so many trees in my pockets and then got to find another place for them. And then I end up having to figure out how to put trees back in, otherwise it all looks a bit too barren. I do need, in the areas that we've done already, to do things like plants and weeds and shrubs and flowers, and then it will look a lot more full. It's looking a bit barren, like I say at the moment, but we'll get there. I'm just very slow at decorating things, and I'm fine with that. It's only you who has to bear this burden of seeing me with a half-done island, but I'm pretty sure it gives you guys a sense of peace. So that little bit of the river there, I was thinking we could have a diagonal bridge going over, but the nice ones are expensive. We could either have like a staircase here as well leading up to the top, or we could just put that windmill there. Let's dump it there for now so I can think. This is also an awkward distance behind Nooks. There's enough space for a tree, but really, I don't think it benefits to have one there. A lot of this stage, I'm just thinking about distances really. And I'm having to put, that was wrong. Having to put grids down and think. Oh, hello. Have you got, you've got loads of space, just in case she wants to give us something. An anorak jacket. Excellent. Things that we do not need. Thank you so much though, my love. That's very kind of you, very kind. Let's check it out. I've been enjoying trying things on. Hey, look, we're in the band Oasis. Okay, let's get rid of that. Oh, does anyone wear blue? Would that look good on anyone? Yeah, so I'm aware that probably professional island designers would not have a straight line that goes across the whole of the front of their islands, but I like to simplify things, you know. I like straight lines and I like grids, and they make me feel at peace. So that's what I'm going to do. If we need to at some point, we can nudge them one up and one down, break it up a little bit, but for now, that's totally fine. Let's get rid of this. I was thinking before about whether we wanted to terraform that waterfall away, and then this would be would have led up maybe to a staircase at the top there, but I get so afraid of terraforming, you know. I'm sure you have it as well, that once it's gone, you can never get it back. It's a bit terrifying for me. Although saying that, we do now have video evidence of the island, so if I needed to fix anything, I just go back to one of the old videos and copy it. Top tips for you there: start a YouTube channel and then suddenly you'll be free to terraform. I don't think that we're going to want 2 paths here. Yeah, I think if we keep that space next to us for something useful, we'll stick with the idea of all the items we'll put down at the moment will be functional. So we'll probably have like a workbench or something like that. Apart from the windmill, which is just there for our own personal enjoyment. You know, we all love a good windmill. They were wonderful when they were added to the game. We all lost our minds, didn't we, about windmills and wheat fields. Oh, I could cover a whole island in wheat fields. We could try out little things with them actually, but we'll see. I'm just checking if we nudge this all over one, would it be better? I'm worried it's too close to where the trees would be on the side of the island now. To have a bit of distance, you know, between the farm and the water. That's a challenge I always faced, was how to get a natural feeling transition onto a beach. Usually I just have a little bit of a gap with fences and weeds and trees and shrubs and stuff. Have you ever found a good solution to this that you could tell us all about, and suddenly our island would feel a lot better designed? I don't know. It's quite therapeutic, isn't it, doing this bit? I could spend whole days terraforming, shouldn't we? Oh gosh, in one of those funny video ideas, we'll have just, that's what I could do on my other Switch, we'll just terraform up and down an island all day. 5 hours of knocking down cliffs. No, maybe not. I will say, because we're not at a point of really being able to decorate for the fall, I am kind of over it now. I want the snow. Oh, bless you. But yeah, it'll be nice if we were just slightly more developed along for such a time as autumn, which is quite a dominant time on the island, isn't it? Okay, I don't mind this. I feel it's spaced well. I think it's going to be airy and a nice place to be. I do want to just grab a couple of fences for the front there. I haven't managed to get hold of the barbed wire fence, which is the obvious thing to use there. So I'll have to keep hunting for that, and then when we get it, we can just update for what we've got. We'll probably end up using the, is it called the cottage fence, I think? Country fencing, that's the one. We'll take a couple of others just to have a look at. But yeah, I feel like this will probably have to get changed out. I never use these categories, you know, they're very helpful. We should make an effort to do it. What other fences do we have? No, I think we've got the best options there, really. We're not going to use any others like this. That corrugated iron one, I do want to use a little bit just up in the forests. I feel we'll start to use slightly different stuff up there. I was even worried down here was a bit too foresty, bringing in the other trees, but no. I want it to feel Animal Crossing-y still, and when you add those trees in, you lose that kind of cheesy look. But equally, with winter on the way, I know we're going to have those trees decorated, so I don't just want them to be up in the forests, you know. That was the wrong place. Yeah, it's nice to see them with all the lights on when you're at the front here. So I thought I'd try them out. Okay, and then we'll think about these areas being filled with flowers and shrubs and things. But for now, I'll just add a couple of weeds. Oh, it's so nice just to see a big open area. Why do we have to have trees in the game? Maybe if we make the foresty bit so full of trees, Isabel won't mind that we've stripped everything away. Okay, I'm feeling good so far. No need to panic. Everything's going well. And then I was thinking for this next bit, if we went not quite symmetrical, so if we go like one offset, I don't know if it'll be, oh, that's good as well, because then that road could potentially lead to a staircase if we needed it. I'm not quite sure of where I'm laying all this stuff out. This is kind of how my mind works. It goes back to when I was an art student. And the whole idea is that in order to make something, you have to start somewhere. In order to react to something, you have to put something down in the first place. I don't think there's anyone in the world who has ever created something for the first time and had it be its best version of itself. So the idea that we would put down a farm now and it would be the best it could possibly be is just so wrong. It's so unnatural. And I think, you know, it's tough when people are like designers and they're doing their islands. I'm convinced they've all spent hours designing it before, and then they rebuild it to give us an aesthetically pleasing video to watch as a speed build. But in reality, they already know where they're going to put everything. And we obviously don't. So we have to put this down first in order to see it and react to it and move things around. So hopefully I'll do a really awful job of this. And then a few videos later, you'll see it looking a bit better. And then a couple of videos after that, we'll be there and we'll have gotten to it. I'm thinking this is probably the spot where we'd have to have, where we'd have to have that road leading off to a diagonal bridge, but I'll have to see. I was looking at using that most expensive bridge, the Zen one, the brown version of it, that I thought could be cool there. I was feeling very much that, or the suspension bridge is cool, but I feel like that would be more for the foresty areas. I do want a bit of variety. I've not been sure about the wooden bridge actually that we have in front of Nooks. That may end up having to be changed. Maybe all of this dirt path will end up being a stone one, and that could make it feel a bit more villagey or something. I don't know. Let's have a quick chat with Tom, and what we'll do is just grab the bridge off of him to have a look at, just to see if that road lines up. I don't want to actually place it now, and I obviously could not afford it after today's bad turnip prices business. I'm sure we'll reach the point very shortly where we're putting our turnip prices online on the Discord, which I must remember to put the link to in the description of the video. So hopefully I'll remember to do that. Yeah, this one, the Zen Bridge. See, that suspension I like. The wooden one I don't think. The stone could be interesting, but I think for now, that's probably our best bet. But yeah, we should team together on the turnips so no one's feeling stressed out about missing things. Anyway, yeah, word of warning though, to heed my words. Do not build along. Do not try and replicate this island as I'm doing it, because you're going to spend a fortune. Hello, Bones. Yeah, we have spoken, but it's fine. Munching on chocolate pie and just walking around. Oh, carrot cake. You know carrot cake is the best cake. Oh my gosh. Prove me wrong. It's your favourite cake. Carrot cake, without a doubt. I could eat a whole chocolate cake in a day without, you know, any issue. Right, so what are we thinking? Probably over here. And then see that, because at the moment there's only space really for 4 vegetables there, and there is more that we're going to need to plant. So we could potentially have that bridge going over, and then the farm would continue. So if we think of this whole area as being like a big kind of square or rectangle. No, I know this is going to fit there. Maybe it's up here. Yeah, okay. But yeah, and it would extend over onto the left, that farm. But I don't know how it would look or how would you pull that off. It is nice with the waterfall and the diagonal bridge, I will say. But we definitely can't get away with it being one lower, can we? No. But yeah, then I was thinking, like, over here, we could have like another 2 farm bits, but I don't know, it might feel a bit too widespread. We might need to just terraform away that river. We could keep the waterfall and maybe a little bit of something underneath it, but I'm not quite sure. Let's move our vegetables over. I know Leaf has still got these on Halves Island, so oh gosh, we can go fetch the extras and then have them all kitted out. I'll be interested to see how much you earn off of these vegetables. I never really paid too much attention before. Yeah, let's pop them over here and see. Sugar cane. Where I grew up in South Africa, we had sugar cane, and I remember cutting some off and just chewing on it for a while. I wonder what the process is to create sugar from sugar cane. Okay, yeah. Simple, effective, does the job. Let's keep going. Carrots probably next. We want a variety of heights, don't we? Oh, I can't wait to get the other veggies. It's the process though, isn't it? That's Animal Crossing. It's the excitement of waiting 2 months to get the final vegetable. It's the kind of excitement that we live for. Oh, of course. Thank goodness we got all those resources. Then we could just build another shovel. Gosh, I've got no room in my pockets, do I? Yeah. Where is everything? Oh no, of course we don't have the hardwood in our pockets, but then I won't have room. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Let's just put the carrots down for now. Do you know, it'd be cute actually, somewhere. We'll have to find somewhere to put maybe a doghouse, and then eventually, oh bless you, we'll look for the rabbit to go with it. We can have a little rabbit gathering on our island. Okay, let's get the shovel sorted out. I wonder at what point I'm going to let myself use the heavier duty tools. I'm feeling the need, but I think we're so far off. Although we will develop them over time. Obviously we'll eventually smash enough of them, but it'd be nice if it didn't take 3 years, you know, to get through that 1 Nook Mile stamp achievement. I'm not really thinking of this island as a trying to do every achievement island. It would just be nice to have, you know, I said before, I don't want to use the term forever island, but that sort of thing. I have this tiny library here and I thought I could figure out a spot for it, but we're not really decorating so much as just figuring out the layout right now, so maybe if I just leave it chucked out the way in the corner here. It's a cool item for this area though. It looks like a little newspaper box. Okay. The more I look at this area, the more I think we're either going to have to condense it, which I don't want to do, or we're going to have to terraform away that river. I don't know. Let's pop, because I've got so many trees in my pockets, don't I? You must do this as well. Let's pop some of them back in, just so we're thinking about trees. I ignore them a lot. These are probably the obvious spots, aren't they? I do like to have them in front of buildings. Just give a bit of depth, but Nooks feels pretty good where it is actually. I know Able Sisters I'm kind of battling with again at the moment. They may end up somewhere else on the island if I can figure it out, but we'll deal with that another day. I'm so happy that I time travelled to move them all. I feel so much more comfortable on the island now. Problem is, we need to sort this bit out. And then if I do it too well, we'll probably have to go back to the middle and and adjust that again, but that's what it is, isn't it? Constantly shifting. That's totally fine. Alright, so, more hemming. This is a bit strange, isn't it? Because we could carry that path through. Oh, not there. No. I'm thinking about whether we could nudge that path up by one, have it a bit offset, and then with the river gone, it would solve the issue of behind Nook's Granny being a bit of a strange space, but I'm not sure yet. Let's keep exploring with this. This could also just be an area for stuff, you know. We could gotta find somewhere for our money trees actually, but what if for now it was a windmill? Let's just leave that there. Oh, it does work, but then we're left with actually very little space left for our veggies, aren't we? What would happen? Oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared of terraforming away that little bit. I imagine a lot of you enjoy watching this because you have the same anxieties that I do. I mean, in a lot of ways you can play this game just as it comes, but I feel like as you start dotting stuff in, it doesn't look its best, and you know you can just do a little bit, but then the temptation is to go too far, you know. We need the next Animal Crossing game to be something between the older games and this one. Although, the way the world is with customising everything to your own tastes these days is, I don't think that's likely to happen. We need just a basic Animal Crossing where they put everything down for us and we just enjoy it, you know. I got the recipe the other day for that DIY workbench there you saw, so I'm going to make that. It's a big chunky one and it's a bit of a proper working area, so I thought that could be a good thing to have here. I feel like we need a patch, speaking of functional areas, a patch where we could make the hot item for the day. And then if we get a storage shed, we'll be able to just pull out everything and make them when we need them. So that could be a really good thing to have in this space. And obviously just for general crafting. I like to think, oh, I don't like that there though. I like to think that I've done quite a good job of figuring out what functional areas we need. So things like, you know, stumps for catching the bugs and areas for DIY and stuff like that. Which ones have I missed? Have you spotted things that I need to build that I haven't mentioned yet or thought of? I'll obviously by the houses have more workbenches and things dotted around, but what are your functional area suggestions? We've got our big farm and we'll keep our ponds and stuff like that, but I'm sure I'm going to miss tons of good ideas that you've all mastered a long time ago. Or in fact, any particularly interesting items that have a function as well. I swear, like the music box is a good item to have because it changes the sound of the music, you know, but what other things are there like that? Like the fountain that goes off at particular times of day. There must be a whole bunch of things like this that I forget. I did think we could split the colours of the pumpkins so we'd have all the orange ones together and then next to it we'd have a mix of the different colours, but I think we're definitely going to need more space then, aren't we? How big are we going to go with this farm? I have seen some very cool islands that are just farms, but we don't particularly need to theme this. My experience of the countryside is that you have a lot of mix of natural and farm areas. Yeah, I think that workbench will probably have to go in here, but obviously we haven't got other decorations to make it look good. Excuse me, Daisy May. Yeah. Probably just stick some fences in and the sheds and stuff like that, and then this will start to look more acceptable. For now it just looks very strange. Is this any better? Absolutely not. It has been really interesting so far to see that line between, you know, decorated and simple. I find the temptation is there to, oh, Daisy May, move, to put a lot more than you need to. But then we know the trick, you know, you just start taking away stuff and nudging it until it starts to feel comfortable. We could always have a bridge going straight over there, you know. So many options, too many options perhaps. And then up here, we have to figure out what we do up there. That could be a spot for the workbench as well. Or our money trees, but at the moment there's not enough room there to have 3 or 4 of them growing at a time, you know. Oh, so much to think about, honestly. It would be cool though, imagine if this was a whole fully decorated farm and Daisy May was just strolling around in it. Wouldn't that be the most satisfying thing to see? Gosh, that's what I really look forward to, seeing things developed and in action, you know. When you see your villagers using items for the first time that you've put out, it's so satisfying. Okay, I'm really doing very little now, aren't I? But that workbench is really starting to upset me, being there. Oh, I'm reaching fiddly territory. This is where we should stop, but I'm not quite ready to yet. Do you think this could be a third one of these? Let's do some exploring. I'm resolving myself now. Resolving myself to the fact that we're probably going to have to terraform away that river. It's okay, because I think we have too many rivers at the moment, if I'm honest. No, it's not quite right, is it? Yeah. I know we need a long river on the cliff top, so that one in the middle is kind of... Unless I'm brave enough to recreate one, I don't like this. Then that one will probably have to stay. At least till we've worked a lot of the other islands. And then I think once I've figured out what we're doing here, I'm just going to casually work on the cliff tops and putting some of the houses down there, wind that path along. That bit to the left of it, through the trees that you can see in the distance up there, that's going to be a difficult bit to work out, because I think at the moment I can't visualise it being anything other than a walkway. We could do our gyroids over here, you know, make them part of the farm. But I don't like it there, so let's maybe not. It's okay by the house at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, that little bit up there, I feel that could only really be maybe a walk through the trees or something. Maybe we can make it intentionally ridiculously windy so it makes us do a silly thing with our controllers when we walk through it, just for a laugh, you know. Some satisfying controller swerving, like doing the stretches. But just walking around our island. Right, what if we made this our money tree area? Would we be able to spread out some trees here and not have it look ridiculous? Probably not, actually. The only thing with a curve like that is, you know, I like straight lines, so I'd much rather have a whole straight line area. Anyway, that can live there temporarily, at least. It makes sense to me to have all your money trees near nooks, you know. A money tree area, that's definitely one of the functional areas that we need to have. I was going to split those, like I said, but I've decided today is not the day. I think this is definitely going to be... I've reached that point now where I'm kind of struggling to think about where we'd put things next. So this is the bit from my art school days where we need to walk away from it for a little bit. Take a break and then come back and make some bold decisions to not have fear. Oh my gosh, Henry is so cute. Let's pop on over. I'm going to grab us the other veggies that we need, and we can just fill in those areas. And then maybe we'll be done for the day. And the next time that you click on one of my videos, you'll be able to see the next stage of this. I always finish up the videos here and then still end up just dawdling around for about 2 hours. Oh, I forgot about that. I looked so dramatic when I spun around. That's a good point, actually. Do you think of the resident rep as yourself, as a representative of yourself, or do you make a character that you play? Because I think it would influence the way you dressed and all those things. Do you think of it as yourself or an extension of? Why is she not sitting over there ready to do my hair? That's peculiar. Some of you will know why not. Oh, Red's here as well now. Right. Show us your goodies. For a brief moment, I thought it was Sundays that these islands, these shops reset. And I thought we'd have new stuff, but maybe it's Monday. I'm excited to see what he's got in store for us now. Frustratingly, I don't want 5 of these, and they're quite expensive when you buy that many of them. So I'm going to one by one buy these off of Leaf. Hopefully it's not too frustrating to watch. Look at the bird in the corner. Look how cute they are. It's fantastic design in this game, isn't it? All the textures and everything look really wonderful. They did such a good job of that. Some of the villages, when I see the textures on them, I'm like, oh, I just want to squeeze them, you know? They look fluffy and like plushy. That sounded a bit strange, didn't it? Like I got the cute rage. It's so cute, I just want to squeeze it. I'm really hoping for the hyacinth next time. I did consider whether or not I wanted to just get rid of a lot of the flowers that we're trying to breed at the moment. Yeah, I've got enough, yeah. But then, I don't know. I always go the wrong way here as well. Let's get a treat from Red. We should make this a thing. I'll come over and every time we stop by, we have to get just one from Red. What's it going to be? A canned sports drink. And the bonus is a lot of these are the edible things, and they just make it easier to move stuff around. You can't trick me into buying 2 though, Red. I won't fall for this. I already stopped by here early on today. I always go the wrong way there. And I went for the, is it the ancient statue? Even if it's a fake one. That's still a good one to have. The fake one is haunted, isn't it? And levitates around. So, fun to have regardless, really. I do want to stop by the museum again soon and just see the little bit of progress we've made with all the fish. The fossils will be cracking on now as well because of all the Mars islands that we went to. That's definitely the fastest one to fill, but there should be enough progress to make it an interesting visit again. We should do a 3 a.m. museum visit. Okay. Oh gosh, every time I see that, it just doesn't look right there, you know? Maybe it's because we need fences and things like that, but who knows? I don't want to keep the Able Sisters far away from everything as well. I would want it to be roughly in the same area. Oh, I can see Gonzo moving around at the top. That bit above our house as well, where it leads through to where Olivia lives. I've been having trouble being at ease with that lately too. I was wondering if we should clear it away and have just maybe 3 or 4 villagers' houses there, rather than them being spread so widely with so many of them over the rest of the island. So there'd just be maybe a few of them dotted about. It would give us a lot more just open foresty space, you know. But that would require more terraforming, so we'll have to see. I think this definitely, I'm going to try and terraform this, but I'll do it off of camera, so when I'm sweating and swearing at myself, you won't have to hear it. The other option, we'll just have a look quickly, is just to extend the farm beyond the river. But I think with the shape of this area, it would maybe be a little bit peculiar. I don't want to move these weeds as well because I like them at this stage of growth, and then once I pull them up, everything starts to grow randomly. Well, the ones at the back of the island will be massive, and unless we clear them away, all these ones at the front will just stay small. So I'm trying to retain them as best I can. In a lot of ways, I regret picking them up at the front of the island before, so yeah, do you see what I mean? It then starts to feel a bit too apart. Yeah. Ugh, I'm gonna have to be brave. I'll build up the strength. I'll have a good strong cup of coffee and then I'll be... Oh, what am I doing? Using the wrong path. Alright, let's undo that. Yeah, a good strong cup of coffee and then I'll be set to go. There is a strange thing of doing this on camera where I am conscious to a certain extent of all of you watching. Even in the videos where we're doing dailies, I realise there's things that I forget to do because in a sense I'm just slightly more rushed than I would be if we were just doing our normal thing. This patch has become very barren now, so let's dump all our trees in here. What do we do with this bit? Are any of you inspired by this section? How would you do this? I was trying to think of a way that you could incorporate the top layer of terraforming and this area. Not this front bit, the bit just below us. How you could turn that into one combined build, but I don't know. It's more likely we'll just have a windy path going through them all. Okay. I think it's definitely going to be time now to step away for a little bit. Have a think. I promise you I'll keep working on it, so next time you stop by you'll be able to see everything that's gone on. I feel like there needs to be a tree here. I'll have to shift it all around and squish in more trees. Although I don't mind this bit being more open. Look at that leaf just floating around. Still a long way to go with this, but much better than it was at the start. Gosh, I was running between trees and flowers and it was quite stressful. But this feels much better, doesn't it? Right, let's take off our work gear then, and we'll do our sign off. Thank you for joining me again today. Hopefully this one was entertaining for you. If you fancy it, go ahead and like the video. If you're not subscribed as well, then please do. We're still trying to hit 500 subscribers, that's our goal, so help me achieve that and we can be awesome together. It's also super helpful if you want to drop in a comment. If you're a lurker, then, you know, just put in a wave or a heart or something. It doesn't have to be fancy. But that way, YouTube knows there's some value and it will show it to some more people. Anyway, thank you again. I always have a great time hanging out, and I know you do too, so I'm sure I'll see you next time. Until then, bye. Bye bye bye. Sundays. See you later.